What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Just trying to get to you guys here. What's up? We're here for the after show of SummerSlam. It's time to rock and roll. What's going on with SummerSlam? You guys know it was WWE's pay-per-view, hot summer event. Except for this year, it was not so hot, and like I said last night, I wasn't expecting a repeat of NXT TakeOver, which I'll say now was a better show. I think WWE needs to take a little heed to NXT and shorten up some of these events. What kept going through my mind while watching this event was, this is too damn long. I don't understand how people could sit in the audience and watch this and be up and alive for it through all these hours. Eventually you would get tired out. So I think they need to figure out a way how to cut down some of these shows. I know they make money doing this, but I don't think it helps the audience. Let me give a shout out to Misty, what's up? Give me a shout out to Simply D, what's up? How y'all feeling tonight? Thank you guys for coming here and joining here early. I'm looking for one thing real quick before I get into the show. I'm just looking for someone to post this link. Make sure you guys hit the share button for me, please and thank you. And hit the like button. We're going to get into the pre-show, which is the pre-show of the event, which they held on YouTube earlier, for those who might have seen it. Why is the list of the matches not out? Anyway, there we go. I actually missed the Andrade, Cien, and Zelina match versus Rusev and Lana. I missed that. I don't know where I missed it. They must have did that like as soon as they opened up the show. I thought I caught everything. But I didn't miss that, so I really ain't got much to say about that. The Cruiserweight title match they had was between Cedric Alexander and Drew Gulak. It was an okay, good match. Cedric's another Ring of Honor talent, indie guy who already knows what to do in the ring, and Drew Gulak's another good guy in the ring as well. I wasn't familiar with Drew Gulak of what he was doing before he came into 205 Live. But solid match, good opener for the pre-show. I would give that match out of 5, a 3. Nothing great, nothing bad. Cedric Alexander went over with the win. I'm glad to see him keep the belt and not throw it on Drew Gulak. I think they need to spice up 205 Live and really do something to make that show be an actual real show, instead it just seems like it's a bunch of cruiserweights and it's just flipping. I don't know. The show needs something more to it. It has the talent, but it doesn't have the feeling of it's an actual show. We'll get into the B team. The B team. Go, 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 go. I like the B team. They had a part afterwards, after the match during inside the SummerSlam, which was funny. It was before Daniel Bryan and the Miz match. They had an interaction in the back with Miz, and I thought that interaction was funny. Where Bo Dallas said to him, the B stands for Daniel Bryan in the B team tonight, because he's going to kick your ass or whatever it was. But the B team versus the Revival was a good match as well. Nothing great that stands out there. I give that a 2.5 to 2 or 3. WWE doesn't really give a damn about the tag team matches, and you can tell by the effort that they allowed them and the time that they're given in the ring. B team kept their tag titles. Was kind of surprised. I guess they're really running with the B team thing. I thought they were going to throw it on the Revival and do something with the Revival. This is my booking. What I would like to see in the soon future is a stable of the Revival with Bobby Roode leading the Revival, because Bobby Roode being wasted right now. Throw Bobby Roode on. Hey, what up, Styles? Thanks for joining. I would say throw Bobby Roode as the leader of Revival, and give Bobby Roode that old, that rich gimmick, that snobby rich gimmick that he had in Impact Wrestling, and throw him with Revival. You got something, a nice little stable. But overall, good match. B Team Revival, nothing special. WWE seems to tell these guys to not give it their all, so that way it seems like Vince's ideology is the lower matches aren't allowed to give you much, because I guess you're really supposed to say the top matches were the best, but they never really end up being the best. Which, to start off with, the Intercontinental Championship for the actual event, the SummerSlam event, which was the match of the night in my opinion. They started off good and they ended it poorly. Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler, in my opinion, had an awesome match. They didn't even need to get Dean or Drew involved, but it didn't mess the match up. I'm glad Seth got the belt. I wanted Seth to win the belt. I think they're going to go somewhere with Dean. I think what they're going to move on here is with, not right away Dean. I hope they don't do that, but it's Vince. I won't put nothing past that guy. But I see Dean and Seth by Survivor Series, and I think they're going to make Drew and Dolph go after the B team. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but I think they're going to make them go after the B team. I had enough of Dolph and Seth. It's time for them to split up from this little rivalry here. Unless they go to mixed match and put Drew against Seth or whatever, vice versa. But good match overall. I'll give that match a 4.5 out of 5 stars. That match owned the night through and through. Both guys sold. Up and down. I have nothing to complain about that match at all. I lost track of where the goddamn. I had a list up here of these matches and I lost track of it. Yeah, so anyway, Seth Rollins won the match, which I'm glad he won the match. Be nice to see who he's going to go up against. Probably Jinder Mahal or something next. It should be done with Dolph and Seth Rollins. Dolph has really stepped up in the past 6 months from becoming almost extinct. Looked like his WWE career has been over. But I say last month he stepped up his game and he looks like a real star now. I think he's solidified his spot now. I don't think there's no more worries of his Dolph. Maybe not top star. He's not Brock. He'll never be Brock. He'll never be, a Rock or anything like that. But I think as far as, you need a main event match, a guy that's going to give you a real great match, I think they know now that Dolph Ziggler is that guy. He's reliable, is what I should say. So again, 4.5 stars for Seth Rollins over Dolph Ziggler tonight. Match of the night, best way to say it. And now, because this card was so long, I'm having a hard time remembering the matches in order. So what I'm going to try to do, is I remember that one was first. It was the women's title match next on SmackDown, if I'm correct. I think so. It was a women's titles match on SmackDown, which was between Carmella, Becky, and Charlotte. And I could be wrong, which was another good match. Carmella is she's money, as they say. Carmella's a really good female heel. Becky, Charlotte, they had the second best match of the night. Between the whole card, I would say the triple threat women's match and the SmackDown was the next best match. Charlotte went over in a match that was a great match. At the end, you see Becky. They did this little hug. What I didn't like is you could see them talking, and you knew something was happening. Like I was sitting here with my girl, and I was going, they're getting ready. Like Becky's getting ready to do something because they're doing too much talking. Like you see the talking while they were hugging, and then all of a sudden Becky turned around and boom, smacked Charlotte. Then beat her up a little bit, basically telling her you stole her shine because Becky wanted a one-on-one match versus Carmella. So it was good storytelling. If anything, that was the best storytelling match of the night, in my opinion. The best continuation, the best match that made sense. Good match by all three ladies. Charlotte's the new champ. Carmella's going to fade for a bit. They'll let Charlotte and Becky fight it out for the next pay-per-view or two, which I think we'll get some good matches from Becky and Charlotte. Some of y'all may have not seen them in NXT or not. They had good matches there, and you'll see some good here in the SmackDown division, the women's division. So out of that match there, I'll give those ladies a 4 out of 5. Those ladies deserve a 4. They put on a great match, in my opinion. So congrats to all three ladies. Now, for me to remember, I should have put them in order of what the matches were. Instead, I put them in order of what they were written down in the fight card. It wasn't that. I want to say it was the Bludgeon Brothers, but it wasn't. Nope. We'll go to Money in the Bank briefcase match. Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens, because I think that might have been next, which was a squash match. Poor Kevin Owens, man. Guy been breaking his neck, working hard, and at one time was a reason to watch Raw. and they just been having them out there just lose. Braun Strowman squashed them. Not much to speak about there. I give that match a 1 out of 5. It was just basically a squash match. So Braun to move on to what happened later on in the event, which we'll talk about shortly. But we'll go into, I'm going into the list here. We'll go into Finn Balor and Baron Corbin. The reason why I want to go into the list is in order is because it makes more sense of how the show went. I think after Strowman and Owens was New Day and Bludgeon Brothers. I feel like I have it mixed up a little bit. Bludgeon Brothers and New Day was a fucking good match. I give it a 3.5. It was a hell of a good match. And then the ending, I went, why? They basically took the sleds, the mallets, and put the beating on New Day. And it was just why? Now I'm wondering, is New Day going to sell these injuries, getting hit by mallet? If New Day shows up Smackdown Tuesday, which I'm going to watch Tuesday just to see what kind of continuation they do with this, I'm going to say, what the fuck? How do you get hit in your ribs by mallet and you show up Tuesday for work? You get hit, like, this doesn't make sense. But I'm wondering, is this them knocking New Day out and maybe moving on to another SmackDown team that maybe come in, or I don't know what they're doing. Also, while watching this match, I got that aura of this is it for New Day. While watching, what's up, Misty? Welcome back. I got an aura of this is it for New Day, and something felt like they need to either do something with these three, because this isn't working anymore. It's getting old. Coming out with the pancakes, doing pancakes, flapjacks on people, and doing the dance. Like, all that shit was cool. It's been going on for, what, 5 years now? You can feel it's over now. So I'm thinking, how are they going to go upon either making them relevant again or splitting them up? Because splitting them up doesn't work. They don't know how to sell Big E. They don't know how to work Kofi. And they haven't really did much with Xavier. Xavier can go to 205. If they let him be him, he'll be fine. But Bludgeon Brothers lost in a disqualification match, so they kept the belts. A good match, just bad booking at the end, which is something I noticed with every match in this pay-per-view. Some of them were actually good matches, and then you would see the end where you said Vince had to fuck it up. The booking was bad. I appreciate that, Misty. So after the tag team title match, man, it's hard keeping up with this damn pay-per-view because on how the matches went in a row, because there were two. It's too long. I'm gonna say the next match was the WWE title match. Yep, by my memory, I think it's the WWE title match. A.J. and Samoa Joe, another good match. I'm going to give it a 2.5, which may be disappointing for A.J. and Joe, but the reason for it being is because I've watched A.J. and Joe fight a bunch of times. They've had way better matches than this. And then the way they did this whole storyline with your daddy's, I'm going to be your new daddy or whatever, it was so unnecessary. By the way, shout out to my old crew. I was watching SummerSlam with them. That's where I was at. My old wrestling crew. I went over to the channel. All them guys were still over there and shit. So I went to go give them a shout out and show love and shit. So shout out to them guys. Always rocking crew over there. But where was I at? With Joe and A.J. Styles. What I was saying to them guys was, you have two wrestlers that wrestling fans have watched be two of, let's just say top 10. Because everyone has their choice. But saying top 10 of wrestlers in the last 10 years is a huge thing. Because there's a lot of wrestlers. So if you're in the top 10, that's a good thing. But AJ be number one in my opinion. But you have two of the top 10 wrestlers that have been in wrestling. They fought guys like Kurt Angle, Booker T, Sting, you name it. They've literally fought everyone. So instead of selling a matchup of the two best wrestlers, two former champions around the world, guys that have beat some of the Hall of Famers, all-time greats. Instead of selling the match as two of the best athletes, you sell the match as this guy using his fucking wife and daughter against him. The shit just was unnecessary and stupid. And it took away from the talent that AJ and Samoa Joe is. The booking was horrible, Missy. Misty. And to come from the good event that I watched Saturday night to see what I seen Sunday night tonight, it just shows that Vince needs to wrap it up. He needs to go to somebody else who knows how to book properly. He's too into himself. Saturday night, did you notice last night if you watched, I didn't have a complaint about the NXT event. Outside of, I kind of didn't like how the ending was, but I didn't rant on it too bad. It wasn't the worst thing. But I'm glad AJ kept the belt. AJ's my boy. Joe is booked bad, and I think because of the way they're booking him, Joe also came off bad. Because Joe doesn't need to act like he's A.J. Styles' family's daddy to come off as a badass. It's motherfucking Samoa Joe. The same motherfucker who went toe-to-toe with Kurt Angle and the world recognized him. The fuck does he need to do this for? I don't understand Vince's logic of booking. But then yet, when you go back in time and Katie Dix and the stupid stuff that they've done, which was a lot of his ideas and his green light, I get it. But congrats to AJ Styles for keeping the title. I think they're going to do more Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. The way they ended that match, I think they're going to go into what's next? TLC? I think it's TLC. Whatever they said, I don't even think it's TLC. It's one of those gimmick Hell in a Cell. So I think you're going to see Joe and AJ at Hell in a Cell as well, which is cool. I don't mind seeing Joe and AJ at Hell in a Cell. Just give me Joe and AJ. Can I please have Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles, the two of the best wrestlers that we've watched in wrestling? Yeah, AJ kept the belt, bro. But I didn't like the storyline. It's very unnecessary. I don't know if you heard me. What I was just saying, Tony, is that us as wrestling fans, we know AJ Styles and Samoa Joe have been two, if not two of the top 5 to 10 best wrestlers in the last 10 years. They went toe-to-toe with Sting, Booker T, Kurt Angle, you name it. You name it. But yet Vince has to book them in the way that he does. A storyline about his child and his wife. It was almost just as bad as the storyline with AJ cheating on his wife with Dixie Carter a few years back when they did that stupid shit in TNA. That's the taste I had in my mouth watching this shit tonight. The same taste. It was unnecessary. I'm just glad AJ kept the belt. So they had AJ spaz out at the end of the match, go crazy, beat Samoa Joe up with the chair, and then his wife had to tell him, because it looked so badly booked. Basically, he's whacking Samoa Joe with the chair, and his wife is in the crowd screaming at him, telling him to stop. So he looks at his wife and then stops, and then climbs over the rail, goes over to his daughter and wife. His wife's going, "You need to stop." Then he grabs his daughter, picks up his daughter, basically gave her a hug, and then walks off with his wife and daughter. It was just stupid. All we needed was Joe and AJ in the ring, the best wrestling match. That should have been the match of the night, but instead we got it out of Dolph and Seth, which could have been expected too. But we still should have got match of the night with AJ and Joe. Those are two people we watched dominate matches together for years. We know what we should have got out of Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. And we got ripped off as wrestling fans. You said all you watch is Ring of Honor now. I watch mostly New Japan for the most part. I watch a bit of Ring of Honor. I watch a little of the indie stuff, but I'm more New Japan now. You said it's a blood feud now. Right. I just wish they would have kept it in the ring to what it was. And I hope they actually go back after tonight and readjust this storyline, because they don't need to do this storyline with Samoa Joe and AJ. I think it's ridiculous. I'd rather just see my two guys slug it out. I like both. I'm glad I got to see AJ and Joe. Actually, I got the video. I need to upload it. I got a video of Joe when he was in the city here. We were just at the event, and the lights went off, and lights came on, and Joe popped up in the middle of the ring, and boom, started kicking ass. I got to upload the video, though. I got it on my computer here. I gotta find my AJ stuff too when AJ was here, because both of them were here just before they signed their WWE contract. They're at the Wrestle Center company. Let's get into the next match though. So after AJ and Joe would have been, and excuse me for fumbling a little bit on the matches, just the pay-per-view was so long. I should have just, like I said, wrote down what matches was after each other, but instead I wrote the list of how they had the match listed. So after AJ and them, I want to say, was it Miz and Daniel Bryan? I think it was Miz, Daniel Bryan. Yeah, Miz and Daniel Bryan was an okay match too. I think it went on a little bit too long than what it needed to. I looked at Joe and AJ and said, so you give Miz and Daniel Bryan, no discredit to DB. And even Miz isn't as bad as he used to be in the ring. But you gave 20, 25 minutes to Daniel Bryan and Miz. That's not for a title belt. And you don't give 20, 25 minutes to Joe and AJ for the championship? Are you kidding me? See, this is the shit that I'm talking about when it comes to WWE, which New Japan doesn't make a mistake on. Because they'll give a regular match 10 minutes. Title matches? They get 20, 25 minutes. Make them feel important. Make them feel important. So Daniel Bryan and Miz match went. Miz won the match, which I'm wondering, does this have to do with Daniel Bryan actually leaving? Which I hope. I hope. Like I was saying to my homies in the other chat, I said, guys, I hope Bryan leaves, because I wrote a whole list of Daniel Bryan versus matches in New Japan. Straight up Heisenberg, Daniel Bryan. The first person I named first was Suzuki. I would love this. Daniel Bryan versus Minoru Suzuki. Daniel Bryan versus Okada. A real Chris Jericho match in Japan. Omega. I can go on. Naito. Evil. Man, shit. I could go on and on about the matches I would like this. Him and Juice Robinson. Him and Sonata. Him and Cody. I want a few guys to leave, to be honest, because I think WWE right now is oversaturated, and the booking shows it. The booking right now shows it. Despite other companies, what they did was go sign all the hot talent just because other companies were starting to get hot because of what they fucking promoted and earned. Like, these companies made all these indie guys hot. Vince is trying to steal off of these guys and recreate magic that he doesn't allow in his ring. The magic that these guys created in Ring of Honor, New Japan, all the money in the small companies, Impact Wrestling, Vince doesn't allow these guys to do the same shit in his ring. So he's ripping off them and the wrestling fans. He said, where can you watch New Japan? Oh, hey, Tony, Google Watch Wrestling, right? And a website, Watch Wrestling, and just Google that, and a website called, what's the website called? What is the actual website called? What's that? Oh, I'm on Reddit right now. I'm not even on the website. Once you type in Google Watch Wrestling, hit that first site. It should be, let me see what pops in when you hit Watch Wrestling. When you hit Watch Wrestling, it should be Watch Wrestling. And it shows all the live, like when something's live, I watch all my live events there. In there. So like right now on the front page, you got Ring of Honor's there, SummerSlam's there, WOS is on there, there's Lucha, there's 205. They even got like the WWE shows, like the Miz and Maurice, whatever that show's called, and Table of 3, all that different stuff. That's where I watch all my wrestling stuff without having problems. But anyway, let me get back to, where was I at? I was at, I don't want to miss where I was at. I was at Daniel Bryan and The Miz at the end there. And again, another good, decent match, bad ending in the booking. It's something wrong with Vince's booking. He's very delusional about his booking, which we'll see more of this during the pay-per-view. It's after Miz and Bryan would have been, we went through Strowman and Owens already. the tag team match. It would have been Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke. I think so. It wasn't Ronda and them yet because their last two matches. I think it was Shinsuke and Jeff Hardy. We can go there anyway because they're pretty close. Okay match. I find Jeff Hardy. He's that damn bump Jeff Hardy took. Holy shit! Jeff Hardy did a swanton off the top ropes to the side of the apron. Oh man, I'm telling you, these guys want broke back and neck knees and stuff. I don't know how these guys is. Boy. And people say wrestling is fake. People say, wrestling is fake. Well, you go do a swanton dive off the top rope onto a wrestling apron. And you go tell me how fake that is. You can't fake swantoning in the air and hitting the damn side of the ring. But I'm glad Shinsuke won. I'm a Shinsuke fan too. Shinsuke's my dude. I'm glad they're giving him a nice U.S. title run. I wonder who they're going to have him go up against. And what killed me was what was this Randy Orton shit at the end of that match. So at the end of the match, Shinsuke's gone. He's already left the ring. And Jeff Hardy's down. Randy Orton music hits. He walks down towards the ring and then turns around and leaves. So I'm going, what was the point of this? He didn't do nothing, didn't say nothing. It was just like, hey, we had to show that Randy Orton's here at SummerSlam. It was stupid. I was hoping Randy kind of maybe got involved somewhat, but not too much to where it ruined the match. But I give that, and I did give my stars. I got to backtrack a bit. I missed some stars. So we'll start back with the stars here with Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke Nakamura, which I'll give it 2.5. I don't think it was great. I don't think it was good neither. I don't think it was bad. I'm giving it a 2.5 because it wasn't horrible. So I give it 2.5 out of 5. Shinsuke's being held back from what I know Shinsuke can do. I hate watching his matches in WWE because he's not allowed to do what Shinsuke can fucking do. Shinsuke has way more charisma, man. This WWE shit is watering him down. So which ones did I not match? I didn't star. I'll go back to it. I don't think I 5-starred AJ and Samoa Joe. I think I did, didn't I? And they gave it a 2. AJ and Samoa Joe was a 2 out of 5. I gave Ziggler and Seth a 4.5. Gave Carmella and Becky and Charlotte a 4 out of 5. Jeff and Shinsuke got a 2.5. The Bludgeon Brothers and New Day got I think I gave them a 2.5 as well. Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens got a fucking 1. Daniel Bryan and Miz, I'll give it 3. That was it was a good match. I just didn't care too much for some of the booking of the end of it could have been better. They could have ended it better. I would have gave it a 3.5 had they did it a little bit better. And I think it was too long. Now we'll move on to I think it's the third last match for the match. Pretty left. Finn Balor and Baron Corbin. Now, when this match started, we were in the chat room going, this match ain't going to last 5 minutes. I said it's not even getting close to 5 minutes. Watch. And it fucking did it. They've literally made Baron Clown into a joke. Finn Balor is being wasted. Someone pointed out and said, what's the difference of Finn Balor when he's a demon and not a demon? And we all said nothing. So what's the point of the demon gimmick? What is the point of the demon gimmick? Or that what they were trying to use it off by when he's a demon and he can squash people. And that's the whole thing that they were trying to get over by squashing Baron Corbin like this. Is CZW still around? Yeah, CZW is still around. The Finn Balor and Baron Corbin match was a 1.5. It was better than the Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens match, but it was just as shitty in my opinion. Nothing special. You didn't miss nothing, folks. And where they're going to continue on with Finn Balor, who has a clue? Because I don't know if Vince knows what to do with Finn Balor. I think the way they're trying to move, Finn may have to go to SmackDown, and I'm going to tell you why, what I've been noticing. I think Vince is trying to make the title on SmackDown more for the big guys. Braun, Roman, Brock. I think when they get Cain Velasquez moved up from NXT, Kane's gonna be on Raw. So I don't see this belt being on guys like Finn Balor and them guys anytime soon. I don't. So I think the best move is to move him over to SmackDown, or let that guy go back to Japan or somewhere else, because he's being wasted on Raw. Then we had, holy shit, ladies and gentlemen, y'all give me one moment. See if I can find a picture of what Ronda Rousey looked like tonight. Because you got to hear it. You have to, ladies and gentlemen, if you did not see what Ronda Rousey looked like tonight, you wait. I'm finding a picture for you guys right now. If y'all want to see what Ronda Rousey looked like tonight, give me some better pictures than this, please. There has to be more pictures than this. No. There has to be more pictures than this. I only got one picture out there right now. If you guys see this shit, where the hell are these Ronda Rousey SummerSlam pictures? You mean to tell me nobody has it up? I'm on Google right now, and no one has Ronda Rousey SummerSlam pictures up. Am I typing in the wrong thing? Okay, I'll put it on a preview. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Be prepared to be prepared. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to present to you is a goddamn nightmare. And when she came down to the ring with her old awkward walk that she has, oh my God. Give me one, where's it at? You guys, can you guys see this shit? Let me make sure I can boost this shit up. Oh my God. Y'all, she looks so fucking horrible, man. I wish there was a better picture of it. I can't find one. I'll show y'all tomorrow if I can. But this was... They made Ronda look ridiculous. You said she looks like a coked out drag queen. She looked ridiculous. Ridiculous. This match was a 1.5. Ronda is still green. They're trying to use her MMA skills that she does have, like the arm bar. Pretty much, that's her moveset. But this match was horrible. Alexa ran the whole match until she was able, it was like cat versus mouse, until she caught the mouse and basically just played with her like a doll until she made her tap out. But we know why they're doing the women's pay-per-view. They need Ronda to sell tickets. So this is all a money thing with Ronda, right? So Ronda's not going to be losing anytime soon. Not even close to anytime soon. So don't look forward to that. Ronda losing. They just need to give her more ring. She needs more time, more experience. She has potential. She has the attitude. She just, and as far as wrestling, she needs to remove. She just needs to learn. That's it. Ronda hasn't even been wrestling for a year. She just has to learn. Finally, we have the main event. You said yes, Misty. They took Smokey Eyes beyond the limit. It's horrible. Tonight's main event with Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, remind me of Goldberg and Brock from years ago. The crowd booed both of them. The crowd was told they both suck. Oh, shout out to the audience for at least recognizing something WWE won't. See, what I like about wrestling fans is they refuse to be ripped off and act like history doesn't exist. So when AJ and Samoa Joe were going at it, you know they were giving them TNA chants. I was like, good, to remind Vince and don't forget where they came from. But anyway, Brock and Roman Reigns Braun came down before the match started, which threw everybody off because everyone was like cashing in before the match. That didn't make sense. But Braun was just like, yo, I'm here to watch the match and I'll cash in afterwards. Now, I thought what was going to be horrible turned out to be all right because I like what Brock did. When Brock got hurt Roman and then went after Braun as in like, no motherfucker, you ain't cashing this shit. And I like how he took Braun completely out. But what happened was that was so Roman could get back up and basically get the belt and he beat Brock Lesnar. So it wasn't much action between Brock and Roman. It was kind of like they mingled for a second and then goddamn Brock went after Braun. And by the time he was done with knocking out Braun, Roman got up and just gave him that spear and the punch. I believe it was a spear and the punch if I recall. And then pinned him. It was over. So it's hard to really rate this match highly and poorly because it got the job done on what it needed to while still letting Braun Strowman keep the Money in the Bank match briefcase, which I'm sure he'll cash in at some point. I'm not a I hate Roman Reigns guy. I think Roman's better in the ring than people give him credit to. But it was time to move on from Brock Lesnar. Brock got at UFC. Brock looked out of shape. He looked like he lost about 15, 20 pounds. His muscle looked flabby. And he looked like he aged 10 years, almost 5. No, they didn't say 5. But that's because he's cutting down and going in for drug tests and shit, so he can't fuck around. WWE drug tests, I'm sure, are different than UFC's. Especially when you're Brock Lesnar. But I have to rate every match. If I have to rate those matches, I'll give this match a 2.5. I give it a 2.5 because it was nothing to really remember. It was a title change for the most part, and that was it. Match of the night was Seth and Dolph. Second was the triple threat women's match for the Smackdown title. And the worst match of the night was let me look at this list real quick before worst match of the night was Kevin and Braun. They could have did more. Especially when you see the end result that it was only for them to beat Braun up later. It wasn't like Braun wrestled later or there was, you know what I mean? So I don't know, they should have just did more. That was the worst match because they spent all this time on Kevin and Braun Strowman on Raw for weeks and weeks and weeks for Braun Strowman to beat him in a minute. Kevin Owens got a kick to the gut on Braun Strowman, I think that was literally the only move he got. So we watched weeks and weeks of Raw for their rivalry to watch them in the ring when they finally got to fight for 1 minute. Vince booking. Doesn't make no sense. Makes no sense absolutely at all. He said the crowd would have shitted if he wasn't there. They worked everybody with that bait and switch. Right. They need to figure something out. I've been saying it for a few years. The Raw format needs to change. The format of Raw has been the same for too long. The format of WWE's presentation has been the same for too long. They need to switch it up. Like, remember years ago, remember how New Japan went through that MMA phase? Where a lot of those guys was over there doing that shoot fighting and shit, and then they recognized it was just a phase, they had to get out of that? Vince needs to do the same thing. What he's trying to do with this shit now is not getting over. It's just not. People aren't into the matches like that. They need to come up with something different. Take some advice from what Triple H is doing in NXT. NXT last night, that crowd was hyped. And I want y'all to notice the difference of the pay-per-views, Raw and SmackDown, and then the NXT pay-per-views, well, events. Watch how the audience members are actual into the matches, the back and forth, the moves. On Raw and SmackDown, it's like they're just waiting for pops. A all moment, yeah, it's just weird. He said Impact has better production than WWE. WWE is too sanitized. Impact has stepped up their production. They've stepped up. WWE is too, what's the word I'm looking for? Broadway. Too flashy for what should come off as these are the toughest guys and toughest ladies on the planet. It shouldn't be too flashy. They need to learn a medium where, yeah, you know it's big, but it makes you feel like in that environment like some shit's gonna happen. Well, let me get ready to wrap this up. What I'll give this whole pay-per-view tonight. Oh man, this is a tough one. SummerSlam tonight might be a 2.5, man. I want to say 2, but I don't want to be too stirred. I might be throwing it an extra 5. This SummerSlam was a nothing to remember. Not even close to one of my favorite SummerSlams. And I'll probably not remember anything from this SummerSlam 6 months down the line. They didn't get nothing over, in my opinion. Not much continuation. And when you have big events like this, there should always be a fucking wow factor to where all of us talk about it afterwards. SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, WrestleMania. There should never be a pay-per-view of those big caliber to where we're not talking about it because we went wow. Some shit happened. Did you see that? So I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. I may even give it a 2. It was a little bit less than half good. All this money and promotion they put in the SummerSlam to give people shit. Daniel Bryan, A.J Styles, Samoa Joe. You can go on and on about the talent that's on this fucking show. I don't blame the talent. I blame what Vince puts in their ear and then tells these guys what they have to go out to perform. Because I know if you had these same people on another pay-per-view card, on another company's card, it would rock the fucking house. So I'm not blaming the wrestlers. I'm blaming the booking. Point blank, period. That's just how I see it. Now, I'm not sure what we're going to do as far as wrestling continuation, as far as Raw and SmackDown, because of the fact that I haven't even been enjoying them and watching them. So I don't know if I'm going to do SmackDown and Raw reviews. I may just stick to the pay-per-views and do, I'm definitely going to be doing New Japan stuff as it comes, and football as soon as we get back. So I won't promise we'll be doing sports tomorrow, but you never know. So make sure you subscribe. I'm going to try to give you other content on the sports channel anyway, even if we're not doing shit, wrestling or live. Try to at least do something with sports updates. So make sure you subscribe. Please do me a favor and hit that share button. I would appreciate that if you hit the share button, hit that like, and hit that subscribe button. We are over on Friday nights. You guys can watch me over on the Friday Night Podcast channel every Friday night for the Friday Night Podcast. I'm there every week, and you can also see me on the Zone Talks Live channel, which is my main channel. So you guys hit over there and hit the subscription button over there for all the newcomers to see this later. And if you enjoyed this, y'all know what to do. Share, sub, and bring a friend next time, because I like to talk about the wrestling. We like to talk about the wrestling, or talk about the wrestling. Okay, talk about the wrestling. All right, talk about the wrestling. Shout out to Misty Heisenberg. Shout out to Simply D. Shout out to Tony For all you guys that showed up tonight, and those who show up afterwards, the view, I appreciate you guys. We'll be here again. Again, make sure you ring that bell. We'll see you guys next time. We're going to leave out with a little bit of tune. Y'all ready? We out.